Hi, this is Jim Rossman with the Dallas Morning News, and it's new iPhone week. Yes, I have the new iPhone 6s. There's also a 6s Plus. They look the same as last year's models. 4.7-inch screen for the 6s, 5.5-inch screen for the S Plus, same size as last year's. They're the same price as last year's phones. Start at $650 for the 6s and $750 for the S Plus, and they go up $100 for every bump in memory. The new features that I like on this guy, 3D Touch. And what 3D Touch is, Apple has changed the touch screen so that you can press on the screen and in different pressures, and the phone can register the difference between a very light press and a heavier press, and lets software developers develop programs that can do different things depending on how hard you're pressing the screen. So for Apple's apps, they've got some examples where for the camera app, you can lightly press on the icon and it brings up a right-click menu of sorts that lets you jump right into taking a photo, taking a selfie, recording a video. It's kind of like a little shortcut menu. And they introduced and they showed in the keynote peek and pop, which are two words that they want to put into our vocabulary. In email, if you touch an email lightly, it brings up a preview of the email. If you press hard down on it, it pops it open for you. It's an interesting phenomenon, and it takes some getting used to, and there's a setting in there to adjust how the sensitivity is on the screen. It's really cool. They've upgraded the cameras. Until now, iPhones had 8 megapixel cameras. Now the cameras in the 6S models are 12 megapixel. They now shoot 4K video. But with the video, you can crank down that setting if you don't want to record that video, if you have nowhere to watch 4K video. It's just taking up lots of room on your phone. Live photos is something that Apple's introduced, and that is the ability to turn on a live mode when you're taking a picture. And you can turn this on and off as you're shooting. And when live mode is turned on, the phone is buffering video constantly, and when you shoot a picture of something, it grabs the second and a half before and the second and a half after the video, or after the picture, and it makes a little 3-second video. It's interesting. I don't know how useful it is. I've taken a couple, and I'll show you some here. You can make a live photo into your lock screen if you like. You really can't do anything with live photos right now but watch them on an iPhone or an iPad in iOS 9. But Facebook has announced that they will be supporting live photos, so you'll be able to drop those live photos in Facebook and click on it and see the 3 seconds of video, and it does record sound along with that video. So it's interesting. So the new iPhones are made of what Apple's calling 7000 series aluminum, and I'm no metallurgist, but they're saying that that's the strongest alloy they've ever used on a phone. And they're also saying that the glass on the front of the phones is the strongest glass that they've ever used on a smartphone. So hopefully it's very scratch and drop resistant, but I've already seen pictures online of people who've broken their screens, so watch out for that. The new phones come in the 3 colors from last year: space gray, silver, and gold, and they've added a rose gold this year, which is kind of a pink color. The A9 chip in this year's phones is 70% faster than last year's phones, which I really like, and you can really tell. The Touch ID reader, you put your finger on it and it's instantly reading. You don't even have time to look at your notifications anymore. I've missed some notifications on here and I've had to go back and read them again. It's eerie how fast Touch ID is working on this phone. Hey Siri works now. You can say, hey Siri, what's the temperature in Dallas? Thank you, Siri. So in the 6S's, you can turn this on so Siri's always listening for its trigger word, so you can do it unassisted. And I don't want to tout this feature too much, but there was a video on YouTube this week of a guy who unwrapped new 6S and 6S Plus and dumped them in mixing bowls full of water and shot a video of them working for over an hour underwater, pulled them out, dried them off. They worked just fine. Apple certainly hasn't said that these things are waterproof. I'm not telling you that they're waterproof, but it's interesting to talk about that. Apparently they are a little bit maybe more resilient than previous models. So take that for what it's worth. Anyway, iPhone 6S and 6S Plus available at the Apple Store right now. I've upgraded to the 6S. If you're an iPhone 5S or before user, I think you probably ought to take a really hard look at this. iPhone 6 users number one, if you're still in your contract, hang on. But number two, if you're thinking that this is that big an upgrade, it might not be. You can take a little bit harder look at this. But for me, it was a no-brainer. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.